afternoon. All protocol observed. A special welcome to our Line Minister, Honorable Emma Theophilus, and in the same vein also to our Executive Director, Dr. Otren Mate. My name is Festus Kosep. I'm representing the New Era Publication Corporation. We are honored to be part and parcel of the Nampa journey, a journey which has been birthed by our biggest and main stakeholder, which is the government of the Republic of Namibia. We have a simple mandate, and our mandate is to inform, educate, and to entertain the nation out here. That journey can only be achieved by partnering up with our sister state-owned enterprises, in this case with Nampa, where we are subscribed to the services that they are rendering. And one will only remain with those type of subscriptions and services once you receive world-class, top quality services from the service provider. In this case, Nampa, currently, you are doing a great and excellent job. We value your contribution, and please rest assured about our commitment and also continued subscription to utilize your services. The world is digital. New Era is digital. Nampa is digital. Hence, we will continue supporting you guys. Obviously, you provide us with top quality news articles, photographs, and etc. Hence, please take a special message from our CEO, Mr. Christoph Maletsky, is that we will continue supporting our sister state-owned enterprises. I thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Kosep. Thank you so much. There will come a day when we really give words of appreciation to our partners, our NBC and New Era. These are institutions that have stood by Nampa through thick and thin. And same message must go back to your CEO of gratitude. We are all children under the MICT, our mother, and we've really behaved as such, held each other's hands through tough times. When others deserted us, we stood by each other and we remain strong, and it's that strength that's going to see us into the future as we try and digitalize Namibia. Thank you so much. At this juncture, I would want us to, we are in this beautiful region, but until we've been welcomed properly by the governor, we are here illegally, sort of, yeah? So we want to give an opportunity to the governor through his equally able representative, the deputy mayor, to welcome and do so, welcome us officially to the Channel region. Madam Dewala.
Thank you for the opportunity. Director of Ceremony, Mr. Jata, Honorable Minister of ITC, Emma Theophilus, Executive Director in the Ministry of ICT, Dr. Audrey Mate, Nampa Board Member, Ms. Berit Amakari, Management Director for Hawaii, Namibia, Maiser Jang in the absentia, Local Authorities Executive. Yes, I want to recognize the presence of the CEO of NIPA, Captain of Industry, member of the medias, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. My name is Ulalia Katonyara, the Deputy Mayor of Ngodiva Town, and I am standing here on behalf of the Honorable Ilia Irimari, the Governor of Oshana, to deliver his speech as it. I officially welcome you to the Great Oshana region. It's such an interesting time when we are region dominated the headline with the Ngodiva Annual Trade Fair, an interesting time when we are benefited from the spin-off of the Heroes Day commemoration, being heard in the neighboring Oshkoto region. In Oshkoto region, Oshana is the region of positive development. It is those exciting to be here, Honorable Minister, where the Minister of ICT, partners, and the stakeholders discuss and agree on where the course of our communication and information sharing is headed. And as I listen to the people who have spoken before me, the information sharing and communication field is they represent a lot in store for us into the futures. For us in the region, the importance of Nampa and its mainstream partners cannot be understated. Nampa has played a crucial role in the region and community development outside Windhoek. Most of the news stories from the region, such as Oshana, Kunene, that you see in the newspaper, always have the name Nampa written at the end. It goes to show that Nampa has 4 years mastered that art and community media to represent a crucial input in development process, playing an important role in democratization, social struggle, and awareness raising. This is a large due to the difficulty faced on the financial and logistic constraint faced by other media organizations. For the speaker given before me, here is a huge link between community communication and human development. Community radio continue to be an important source of information and a platform for exchanging, giving a voice to a local group in our region. Therefore, it is imperative that Nampa feed such a community radio by assisting them in the content generation and distribution. We have seen how our community radio station have become a vital source of regional development too, and offer a meeting place to people in the community. Whether in Oshana or commercial region, new media has become a public forum where citizens can raise issues, exchanging their views, and finding common ground. We are now gathered here to understand how Nampa is positioning itself into the relevance. There is a need for media in age of fake news and misinformation. Despite other forms of media, particularly digital media, having gained consider momentum in a past decade. Honorable Minister, we are particularly impressed that Nampa continue to be most popular medium, taking news on Namibia to many parts of the world and remain a credible medium compared to many others. To us, Nampa is a meaningful stakeholder in the pushing for meeting our national objection, from the Harambee Prosperity Plan to the NDP 6 for the realization of a better life for all. In conclusion, I look forward to understanding how we as a government can benefit from the virtual Nampa newsroom to advise social economy transformation through effective communication while embracing digital leadership. I thank you for your kind attention.
Thank you so much. We thank the governor as well. Please do take our message of thanks and gratitude to the governor as well for the message given, and indeed on your own behalf as well. We are thankful. There are very important points which you raised there. The speaker that will come after this will touch on that one. But Nampa has always had collaborations with community radio stations as well, and it's an area that they are going to strengthen going forward. It's quite important. Wherever I go in each region, I don't know whether you guys do the same as well. If you come to a region, you switch to that region's community radio to hear the real stories from that area. It's fascinating because information is power, right? That's what we always say. Do we really take that in? Information really is power. And in rural communities where I live, where many of us live, if you are not informed about things that are happening, drought relief food that's being distributed, tractors that are available for service, for your use, and you don't get those, and that passes, it could actually mean the difference between you having a good harvest that year or not having one at all. So information really is power. Information this crucial year, it's a year of elections, the choices that we make, all that comes from the information that we provide. And Nampa plays a very central role in that respect. So to give a clear context as to why we are really here, I would want to welcome Mr. Confidence Musariri. He's the head of commercial services at Nampa, and he's going to take us through why we are here so that we can have a visual understanding of why this is so significant and exciting. Mr. Musariri, let's welcome him.
Thank you very much, colleagues. Honorable Minister and the representative, Madam Deputy Mayor, as well as the ED and the Chief Executive Officers and the clients of the business community and clients of Nampa, all protocol observed. I think we're meeting as mainly when we came up with the concept of how do we want to unveil our virtual newsroom. We said we don't want it to be very big, we don't want a lot of people, because we want to show the impact and the strength of being virtually online. If I can have my colleagues set up for me, if Michael is here or Eric. All right. Honorable Minister, what we are doing today, as our board member has also alluded to, comes from our strategic plan. We are opening up Nampa to the outside world. For many years, many years ago, what Nampa does used to be called the wires. Thank you. All right, thank you. All right, what Nampa does, we used to be called the wires. Way back, Telegraphic and all those things, and then you find there's a story of Namibia in New Zealand, a story of Namibia in South Africa, and that has happened consistently. Even today, you open the newspapers, you just find Nampa/Reuters, Nampa/AFP, and sometimes many people, even school kids, they think Nampa is a person. They'll say, this journalist called Nampa is writing a lot, because that's how the mandate of Nampa has been, to generate content and to distribute content. So Nampa has been producing content that you find, if anything, is to be on CNN, on BBC, on anywhere else in the world, outside world. They have been working through the wires, the Reuters, the FP, and Nampa, because of the partnership and the family that we have set up. But now things have moved on. We are no longer using wires. We are all in the digital platform. That's where we are. I can give you a very good example of something that happened on the 4th of February. On the 4th of February, the whole country waited for news with bated breath. But social media was awash with news of the demise of our president. But no international media ran that story until around 3 in the afternoon, because Nampa only released the story, I think, somewhere after around midday. And international media would not run certain stories without a news agency formally writing such a piece. But it was already on social media. You would go on BBC, there was nothing. You go on CNN, there was nothing. And we always joke about it. So we actually have some power in us. We actually have the credibility in us. And we've been tapping on that credibility. Yes, it is the characteristics of some of our colleagues in the media, be they print, be they electronic, that they would make mistakes. In Nampa, our characteristics that there is no mistake. Our characteristics that, of course, time is not a main issue, as is what happening today. So you will find that lately you listen to a radio station, colleagues are reading a newspaper story, maybe I won't mention any name, and they'll discuss the whole story, then the next morning they'll come and say, we apologize, the newspaper pulled a retraction, but the whole radio station had 2 hours of discussion, a wrong story. But as Nampa, we have tried to build that credibility so that we can give content that is credible and that is comprehensive. But now, our stakeholders, who are mainly the mainstream media, have been the ones that have been tapping on Nampa, and they have been choosing the content. Nampa offers a buffet of any kind of news. In a day, we produce about 50 news content. I'm going to show you a little bit. But our challenge as Nampa became, as we reviewed our strategies, that the media also have limiting space. So they choose what to produce, what to take from Nampa and what to publish, which became a limiting factor. So if you go on our website today, probably we've got like 50 or 100 stories, right? But then those stories between yesterday and today, if you go in the newspaper, on the radio station, the radio stations and the newspapers will only pick what interests them or what suits to their mandate. So now what we have done is we have created this cloud where everyone can tap into the Nampa newsroom. It's a virtual newsroom. It's been used, it's been tested by all our operations. Nampa is fortunate enough, or is positioned enough, to ensure that this year alone, we have had a reporter in France, we have a reporter in Russia, we have a reporter in ASA covering Namibian news. And the Namibian news, the same news that we find in Namibia, we also find them on the wires of our sister agencies. So if you go to Belgium, you can find a story that is written from Namibia, but Nampa has contributed to it. So we have really played that role, and mainly in the communities. We've got, because we have to serve other stakeholders like the mainstream media that might be chasing the deadline to produce the next day. But now we have had a reporter in almost every region who serves not Nampa but the country in informing, because what the reporter produces goes everywhere else. It can be picked up by Omayake Radio, it can be picked up by any other radio station in the communities. So now we have sort of created this virtual newsroom, which to us is to modernize the news consumption and as well as the habits of an increasing online audience. Everyone is online. You don't want to wait tomorrow to understand that today there was an event at MTC, right? You only have to wait tomorrow. But the virtual newsroom allows you or your organization to pick up this content and do whatever you want with it. So you can pick up this news and you can use it on any other platform as long as you're a subscriber to Nampa. As long as you're a partner to Nampa, you can use this content the way you want it, right? So, and you can play it. I'm just going to show you quickly. I hope I got it right. You know, technology it's got those habits. All right, thank you. Right, so we want to go into the Nampa website, right, so that you see what we do and what we're trying to talk about. So this is our website. As you see on top there, there's a scroll. The scroll, there's news that any radio station can pick up. There's a news there of today. Honorable Theophilus urges employers to embrace technology. There's a story about MSME. So there are certain stories on our platform that are free, like this one. Anyone can access this content. Ministries, public places, you know, you go to a hospital, people are sitting on their TV screens. Going forward, they are going to be accessing content as they are sitting. It will just be, as you are seeing now, there will be content, be they in a scroll format or live. There's a story like that, that is a scroll. You can pick it up anytime. These are stories, for example, of today. But as you go down, you see that you cannot take certain stories. Some are free, some are paid for. But we don't want you to pay every day. And I can assure you it's as good as peanuts. Our mandate is just to generate content and to distribute it. So it's as good as communication is free, but journalism is expensive. Just to meet that expense, not even an expense if I can put it that way. So we've got different kind of platforms in terms of our sections. Businesses, we serve all the businesses, right? You've got an event that you do, but if I go on your website, we can't find any content. People go on company websites only to look at vacancies and procurement and tenders, but there's no content on the websites, right? So Nampa is now opening up to make it virtual, to say you can access this content. We have a Nampa TV. Many people do not know that. Nampa TV does as good as some of our colleagues in the TV industry. So there is content. Okay, this is a small story here of that was in Okanjira, right? So Nampa TV is active. Nampa TV is mainly digital, but we are working. Sorry. Let me mute it. So we are going to, with Nampa TV, we are actually accessing the market differently without competing with some of our stakeholders. We've got a platform, we've got the ideas of where we want to go. But what we are doing is we are saying, come to Nampa, come and get the content, you own the content. Whether it is about your event, it is about your region, it is about your company, come and get hold of the content. Sorry, let me just fix that. All right. As you can see, the news for Nampa is in all the regions, like I said, right? So the virtualness of it is what I'm going to show you now. When we say it is now virtual, and how do you get this content? You can see currently when we talk of 123,000 monthly website users, these are the international agencies, your AFP that I've mentioned, Turkey, there's Tika, you go to Morocco, you find all the international organizations. You can see them at the bottom. There's DPA from Germany. All the content from Germany comes to Namibia through Nampa. Vice versa. We also give them content that they take from our platforms. We have those relationships. So you want to be known in Germany in what you are doing. We've got a big activity that you're doing. We have those stories as well. Right. So let me just move on now. This is where you're getting to join the newsroom. So you log in there. Once you're a member and a partner, you'll get access to the newsroom, to the virtual newsroom. The virtual newsroom is what happened to the Panama Papers, where a group of journalists all were writing stories, and the stories made sense when they were put all together. So as you can see here, the stories, these are all Namibian stories. So you go on the virtual newsroom, you choose what you want. So it's a buffet. Do you want sports? Do you want oil and gas? Do you want content? So audio for radio stations, for example. But for you as a corporate, you just want to have something on your website every day that when people come there, let's say maybe it is about oil and gas, you're involved in the oil and gas sector. I see NAMFOS is here, or guys from defense are here. You want to know what happened at defense. You don't have to wait for the newspaper. You can take that content, you can also share it to your stakeholders from your platforms. So what happens is that we are also fighting misinformation because we are known for being credible. So imagine if 100 entities or 100 organizations have the same kind of information that is complete, that is content, that is well written, and that has got the same information, and everyone has that. There is no way someone can come up and misinform you. So as you see, this is all the things. I just picked up one. This is a full story that you can have. Kunene leaders call for swift action. That story, the Kunene Regional Council or Opuo Town Council can take it and run it on their platforms. They can share it anywhere else they want, as long as they give credit to Nampa. We did a demo. We created one website. That website is called aicnamibia.com, for example, right? So that is the demo that we have. This is a website that is talking about independent political parties. But they have a website, and there's no one who's going on their website. So they have subscribed to Nampa, but their website is just very stale. There's no content. I see NQA is here, but they want things of education on almost every day. Nampa has content almost every day. So we will, with our technical team, we'll talk to your website managers to create a Slack, whether it's a news alert, or it is a news, or whatever you want to call it on your platform, or is it just education, or is it just content. We'll create that. As you see on this website, they created something called news on their website. When they create that, then they go on our website, on our newsroom. They take the news and they put it either on their social media, they can put it on their website like that. So this is a website of an organization that has nothing to do with Nampa, but they've joined the virtual newsroom. They are owning every day. They can own that content. It is now theirs. In short, that is it. Thank you very much. In conclusion, so it is something that is exciting. It is something that is for the future. It is something that we've tested it and we've seen that it works. Our job is to distribute content, and we are saying, do not wait until tomorrow. The content is there. Get into the kitchen, choose what you want to eat, choose what you want to share to your stakeholders. And as it may, at the back end, there's an archive of photos, there's an archive of videos, there's an archive of text, there's an archive of audio, dating back some to as early as 2002 in terms of content. So you can call Nampa, I want a photo when our former ED or former minister or former CEO was here. Nampa, you have it. I subscribe. Can I just pick it up? You just go in there, you search it, you get that content. So we are also a database in a way. That's why we are calling it the Photographic Editorial Archiving System. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks, brother Confidence. Confidence speaks with a great passion when it comes to this work and to Nampa and to information. And it's quite refreshing. Thank you so much. The good thing is that Nampa has a stall at the Ngodiwa Trade Fair. This can continue there. Please do pay a visit, stop by, ask for those who did not, for whom this was too brief or too complicated. You'd have the opportunity then to engage and ask, and also subscribe to that service. This is the future. For many years, we've been wondering what next for Nampa. And I think all of us in our lives as organizations, the organizations that what is next? And this is the next step for Nampa. Now, the passion that is displayed here, there's no one that's more passionate about information and communication and technology, digital space. There's no one more passionate than our minister. This passion is passion that she's carried from years, even before she was appointed Minister of Information or Deputy Minister of Information. So we as a MICT family, we have been in very safe hands. Specifically to us, Nampa, we have thrilled under her umbrella, and we continue to bask and get inspiration from her leadership. It is now our pleasure, I think all of us, to jointly stand and welcome the Minister to address us officially. Honorable Minister.
Thank you very much. Please be seated. Thank you. Thank you so much, Director of Proceedings, Mr. Jatta, for the warm welcome. I'd also like to recognize our ED, Dr. Audrey Mate, in the room. Our Deputy Minister is here around somewhere, also doing a lot of activity. Ngodiwa is bustling. Your Worship, thank you very much for welcoming us on behalf of the Governor. We thank not only yourself and the Governor, but also the entire town of Ngodiwa for facilitating many of the productive activities happening in the town. Thank you very much, Your Worship. Director, Madam Amakali at Nampa, thank you very much for welcoming us as well to this Nampa event. We continue to work with you to ensure that Nampa continues to achieve not only strategic plans, but also to continuously achieve its mandate on behalf of the government. All the leaders here from Oshana region and various parts of neighboring regions of Oshana, esteemed members of the media, ladies and gentlemen, a very good afternoon. We're here to unveil something, but I don't feel the energy in the room. It's such a pleasure to grace this occasion at this very important unveiling and to talk about this very innovative virtual newsroom that Nampa is unveiling today. I'd like to start off to say that in this world and day, we sometimes struggle to determine what is real and what is not. In this fast-paced and information-burdened world, we are struggling to know what is actually authentic, what is real, what has happened, what has not happened, what seems real but is not. And because of emerging technologies that are constantly changing the game and the way we consume news and information, everyone now can become a journalist. And I mean this to say that everyone can break news. Everybody is now breaking news on their social media platform or writing a write-up that looks like a news article and, spreading it across various WhatsApp groups with no verification. Nobody knows if this person, whether they actually abide by the codes of ethics of media ethics. But now, because everybody is now telling us what is true and what is not, what is fake, what is not, we are now struggling to actually make the difference between what we can trust and what we cannot trust. And that's the value of news agencies, because it creates a relationship of trust. as someone who consumes news on a daily basis, news in terms of what happens locally in Namibia, what happens on the continent, what happens on all over the world, it's important for me as a policymaker to ensure that the news I consume is accurate, for one, to determine trends on whether we need to move our policies in a particular direction, how the world is moving towards around legislative making, but that can only happen if there is a trust relationship by the newsmaker and the consumer. Therefore, the advent of fake news, misinformation, disinformation has catastrophic consequences on the credibility of newsmaking. We are constantly seeing that images are being edited and doctored. We are seeing that there are deep fake videos where you see Emma speaking at a Nampa event, where I'm speaking as I'm speaking now, but the words coming out of my mouth would be different if there's a deep fake video and the video has been doctored. AI, artificial intelligence, can create an image from scratch that can depict something that has never, ever happened, that is untrue and potentially dangerous. Not to mention the ability for AI to put bits and pieces of the speeches I've done in the past 4 years and come up with completely new sentences and completely new paragraphs using my exact voice of things I've actually not said. And of course, the person that will be at the receiving end is an unsuspecting person, but also the impact it can have on the community and on a nation. Very quickly, disagreements can arise. Therefore, Nampa, as a news and press agency, has a responsibility not only to adapt to an ever-changing media landscape in order to stay relevant to its subscribers, but also to continue instilling a sense of trust and responsibility. I'm sure the theme around adapting to digital is adapt or die. That is part of the theme that we are having towards our ICT summit between the 9th and 11th of September 2024 in Windhoek. And I believe this photographic and editorial archiving system is a step in the right direction for Nampa to adapt. Therefore, I would like to congratulate the leadership of Nampa, both its board of directors and its management, excuse me, for actioning and implementing the plans and extension of the mandate of the Ministry of Information and Communication Technology, where we want everybody to go digital. We want systems in place, as our late president used to say, systems, institutions, processes that will ensure that we're able to adapt and surely not die. This system is an opportunity to fight against harmful uses of digital technologies, especially in a year such as this of an election year, or Mr. Jatta, Masters of Ceremony. Everything becomes heightened. Every speech, every photograph, every video, every article has the potential to cause harm, but we are always on the positive side of things, where we say that whether it's technology, whether it's emerging technologies, we expect them to be for the public good. And I think this archiving systems know that archiving and accurate archiving is very important in this regard. Because if there's an image of a young Emma of 10 years ago, it should be an accurate image of Emma of 10 years ago. And the place in which you say I was should be an accurate place that the image would depict is where I was. So if we are unable to properly archive events that have happened, images that we have taken, video footage that we have actually captured, and voices of individuals who are no longer with us, it will be very easy through emerging technologies and the advance of the Internet of Things to come up with images, with speeches, with videos of things and people that actually didn't exist, or if they did exist, they never said or never did, and to rebut against it. So I'm very happy that Nampa is actioning this very important milestone in coming up with a virtual newsroom and also archiving the information that we have today and of the yesteryears. But more than that, I hope that you have backups upon backups of this system, because it would be a pity and a shame that if it was to go down, especially nowadays with the many cyber attacks we're experiencing as a country, as a ministry, as a government, as private businesses and sector players, it would be a shame and a disadvantage if we were to lose this very important resource and we are unable to retrieve it. So I call upon the Nampa leadership to ensure that there is a backup for the backup for the backup so that we're able to safeguard it. With that, ladies and gentlemen, I'm very pleased and honored that I could be with you this afternoon to witness this unveiling of this very important virtual news platform. I thank you very much for your kind attention.
Another round of applause for Minister, please. I think that deserves a big applause. I don't know. Speeches are made, speeches are made, but I don't know whether we actually really listen and whether we take in what is being said. What the minister has said to us, it's quite a lot, but it's very important. Almost every sentence counts. The world that we live in and where we are moving to, and how it's important. Just as when I came here earlier, I spoke about how information is power, but we hear how that power can be manipulated as well, and how it can be abused, and quite often it is. And it's the responsibility of these institutions, Nampa, New Era, NBC, institutions that enjoy the trust of our readers. Shippy FM, yeah, you're here. The Namibian. We've earned this trust over many years. It's our responsibility, MICT as well, to safeguard that trust. It's the only currency we have. And we have to do everything we can to make sure that we protect that. I don't want to go into the minister's speech and what I done in any way. What she said is more than enough. We've come to the end of our program, friends. Usually I do not, others have wanted me to have somebody close it up, but usually I don't really allow somebody to speak after the minister. Once the minister has spoken, we usually get our director, Mayor Makali, just to say a word of thanks, and then we can close the program with that. Mayor Makali, just to thank the colleagues for coming. On my part, it's been a pleasure directing the ceremonies. It's been a pleasure welcoming you here. And it's really been an honor engaging you today. And hopefully we can engage further after this as well, one-on-one. Director Makali, just a word of thanks.
Thank you once again, Director of Proceeding. First of all, I would foremost like to thank our minister. As I said, his hard work and commitment have been instrumental to bring Nampa's vision to life. I would like also to thank or to acknowledge you that are present here, our esteemed guests, our partners, our stakeholders for joining us today. We highly appreciate that. As I said, your presence here is a testimony to the importance of this engagement and the impact we aim to achieve in the world, as it was said, where fake news is rife, where everybody has become a digital content creator. We are really thankful. Once again, welcome. I already welcome you, but once again, thank you for coming. We are happy to have you here. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you.
That, ladies and gentlemen, marks the conclusion of our event today. As promised, it was going to be short and brief. We will now just break for snacks at the back there. We'll allow the minister and the delegation to do that first. But before that, if we can have a photo shoot, Minister, if you'd indulge us, a photo shoot with the minister. There was a request from some colleagues who wanted to take pictures with the minister. Nampa staff, can you please come to the front? And then also, all the other journalists, don't go also with the minister. Very quickly, the minister has to go, quickly. Just a quick one. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.